Hey guys, Bix Weir, roaddoer.com. We're back on the repo bandwagon. This is the chart I post every day for Patreon members and private road members on repo. We had a little lull and then back in force again, and then it turned into reverse repos because the Fed was paying more than fair market value, and the banksters tried to get all their money out of the repo market and just sell directly to the Fed. And then we had a real interesting thing that just popped up. It was released on the 15th of April, which is this. This is where the repos come from, and it turns out, and I track this pretty well because the FICC is a division of the DTCC. And this is where the banks go to hide their more toxic assets. So the way to find it is to go to the financialresearch.gov, and it lists all the repos. And so you hit Treasury repurchases is the main one they post, and now it's posted on the 15th for last month. So if you look on my chart, this is why it jumps from 204, which is the FICC guarantees, and it jumped to 260, but then they added another category. And this is where they're hiding the secret bailouts. If you go back to that chart again, you drill down, and it shows you who, look at that spike in March. It tells you who is participating. And right here, you can see the largest participant, the Federal Reserve. Now, the Federal Reserve hasn't done anything in this since January. And also the FICC, which is a clearinghouse. And last month, when they posted this data, you could click on right here, the FICC data, and you drill down, it would break out who it was. Now it's just one bar. Really interesting because they didn't do this. They forgot to do it. I think they forgot to do it on the Federal Reserve in the repo market. Check this out. You drill down here and you can see all the banks that are participating in this. Fidelity, JP Morgan, of course, BlackRock, Northern Trust, Morgan Stanley. They took that out of the FICC to hide it. So now they're double dipping. Is what basically I can surmise from this. You got the FICC in there with $300 billion of cover up, plus the Fed in there with another $300 billion. So, and when we get to our chart, this isn't exactly. I drilled down farther and found the exact numbers. We jumped from $204 billion at the end of March. And remember, they report for 15 days after. So all the March numbers are stuck on March 31st. And that's why I carry it down on my graph here. And we jumped to $545 billion of covert bailouts, which puts our total number right now, at least on the road to Ruta. Now I count overnight repos, term repos, retired term repos, POMOs, mortgage-backed securities. There's more, but they're smaller usually. But look at this jump. This is right near the end of the quarter. The third quarter just jumps skyrocketing and jumps again right here. And watch, when the next data comes out in another month, it's going to jump even higher. So right now we're at 2.67 trillion that the banks need tonight to stay in business. The banks need tonight. Now this isn't overnight repos. This is the culmination of all the maneuvers they're trying to do. This is just the banks. It's not counting federal debt and all that stuff. It is insane. And the weird thing to everybody is, why is this happening? Why is the stock market still at 23,000? When all the banks are bankrupt, all the industries are bankrupt, everything's bankrupt. It's because of market rigging. The computer programs put into place by Alan Greenspan in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and Steve Mnuchin, the head of computer market rigging, is doing it today, which is insane. But there's only so long you can hide this stuff. Zero Hedge article, Chris Whalen exposes the real bank earnings Armageddon. This week, the institutional risk analysis released for Chris Whalen, the institutionalriskanalyst.com. They have a new report. In our latest credit report, we feature net loss rate and earnings estimates for JP Morgan, U.S. Bank, Bank of America, Goldman Sachs through 2020. Suffice it to say that our view first quarter 2020 bank earnings is pretty grim, but the real fun won't start until the second quarter 2020 earnings are released in about 90 days. I don't think the system's going to last 90 days, truthfully. And check out the all the data. I mean, they throw in this data. When you analyze these companies, everybody's used to analyzing it the exact same way. All these financial analysts, they were taught a certain way to do it. They were never taught to analyze a company when the whole system shuts down for months. They were never taught that. That's a black swan of all black swans. You're not taught. So of course, nobody's going to be jumping up and down screaming about what's going on with the Dow at 23,000 because nobody has a model for it. Nobody's telling their clients, get the hell out. They look at, hey, it dropped from 29. It must be undervalued, so let's buy. But it's not. They just don't have a model for all the destruction that's coming. Crazy, huh? And this announced today, of course, the regulator of the banks, which is the bank, which is the Federal Reserve System, which is owned by the banks, theoretically, private corporation, announced today, Federal Reserve Board announces termination of enforcement actions with JP Morgan Chase, Spirit Bank, U.S. Bancorp, and USB American Holdings Company. Of course, the criminals get away all the time. But the enforcement actions in this one, it's really interesting. They got a cease and desist order, which is right here. JP Morgan got a cease and desist order from the Fed saying, hey, you're not in compliance at all with all the anti-money laundering stuff. You're criminals and you're not controlling it. But look when it was dated. January 14th, 2003. It took them 7 years to get in compliance. Why? Because they're a criminal operation. Over 7 years. And finally, supposedly today they're in compliance. Was it anything about the silver manipulation short that Bart Chilton told us that Jamie Dimon and JP Morgan were illegally short for the past 7 years? And now they're long. So is this why all of a sudden the Fed says, okay, you're fine, JP Morgan. You finally got rid of your silver short. You're fine. I don't know. I just posted this morning a YouTube post on silver. Go to the Road Rooted channel. I heard nobody got it as notification from YouTube. They're hiding information on silver. It talks about how every single nationally owned mint is closed, but they all still hold their hedges. All of them are massive hedgers. So they have naked hedges. They no longer have any metal in the warehouse, but they still hold their hedges, which are short positions, on the COMEX. Go check out that video. I don't know if this one's going to get out of the either. YouTube is banning, and that's what you call shadow banning. They're shadow banning my stuff now. Criminal. Anyway, go check it out. It's a good one. And check out Road to Ruta. Join today. This is Bix. I'll talk to you later.
Walking down the street, and I hear from across the street, hey, you're the No More Chips and Salsa guy. And now it's, hey, you're the Litecoin is the right coin guy, which is cool. I'll get to that song. I know everybody loves that one. Let's talk about my other love, silver. Lots going on in the silver market. JP Morgan whistleblower. Does anybody know about that? Yeah. Trader at JP Morgan has confessed to rigging the silver market from 2009 to 2014. Right at the heart of the time when the CFTC was doing their investigations and we were all jumping up and down that the silver market is rigged. Blythe Masters. But here's the deal. He wasn't busted by the CFTC. He was busted by the DOJ and the FBI. That's how important this is. He has said that he was instructed by both his boss's manager, and the head of the corporation, Jamie Dimon, to rig the silver market. They taught him how to do it, and he is a whistleblower. The DOJ and the FBI have an ongoing investigation into this. They already know the answer. The question is, when are they going to pull the plug? Because we all know it's happening. They can't blow this one off. They can't charge a fine to a fucking banker. Because bankers, if you wear a suit, you don't have to go to jail, apparently. Life Masters has left her crypto company in December. I think it's 100% because she's gonna get busted, along with Jamie Dimon. What does that mean for silver? Name your price. Absolutely name your price. If you look at I was listening to David Morgan, he said the inflation adjusted price of silver should be $600 today. That's right. Now, everybody looks at that U.S. debt clock and says, oh my God, Bix, look how much, this is the U.S. debt clock. Well, it's not org, it's not actually a government site, but it's a great site. And it basically applies the inflation rate, and it's just the normal inflation rate, not the John Williams Stadowschatz rate, the real rate. And that's a great thing. So in my 20-year battle to free the silver market, it looks like we're getting close, which would be great for silver, great for us long-suffering silver holders. And So I wrote this song called Pay Me My Silver Now about JP Morgan and all that. All I heard the people say, pay me my silver now, tomorrow's another trading day. Pay me my silver now, watching the comics price rise. Pay me my silver now, JP Morgan naked shorts the highs. Pay me my silver now. Pay me my silver now. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my silver now. CFTC, you better shut it down. Pay me my silver now. There's people rising up in every town. Pay me my silver now. The Gallop boys are in the know. Pay me my silver now. Tinfoil hats at the silver show. Pay me my silver now. Pay me my silver now. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my silver now. The banking boys melt that witch. Pay me my silver now. Deliver those bars, melt that bitch. Pay me my silver now. 'Cause now is the time to free our land. My silver now, silver in my pocket, paper in the can. Pay me my silver now. Pay me my silver now. Pay me or go to jail. Jamie Dimon, pay me my silver now. You guys can sing with me if you want. Pay me my silver now. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my silver now.